Wreck My Podcast.
Here he comes. Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels. Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer. Go. We're covering Speed Racer.
Wreck My Podcast.
Welcome to Wreck My Podcast, where today we're talking about Speed Racer Go, Go, Go. I'm here with my guest. Just call him Cannonball Cam. It's Cam.
I like that one. I didn't know which way you were going to go for all of us, so I'm
Yeah.
excited right now.
Well, he's not a ninja. He's more like a nanja. It's Kreger. That was like the greatest line ever.
That
in
was
the whole
so
movie.
dad.
His
It was so
favorite,
dad.
his favorite cookie is a Chim Chim cookie. It's Joe.
Cool beans.
It's unfortunate that my last name in the Speed Racer universe is Hooker. I'm your host, Jordan. Everyone's last name is like what they are.
do, yeah.
It's funny when they say all the race car drivers' name. It's like Piston, Nitro,
One guy's
Speed, but one of them is like Scarlet.
one of them is like snake oil, and I'm like, is he just from like Iran, where it's like the oil companies, or like what
he
is
likes
this supposed
snake.
to be?
He likes Snake, and his power of a car to turn
Is
other cars
oil.
is oil.
Yeah.
He like a snake.
If you
He's
don't,
sneaky like a snake, but he likes oil.
if you don't recognize that voice, Kreger is making his triumphant return on the podcast.
Hello, everybody.
But he's a little sick.
Yeah, I've been better.
Oh man, this is a lot of low voices going on in this podcast.
His voice is
today.
making me feel emasculated.
I'm actually trying to try out for the wave.
Yeah,
No.
we should all just talk in the lowest voices
Hello,
we
everyone.
can.
We're screwing everyone's like car bass up right now.
Yeah, they're like,
Hello,
oh, damn it.
everyone. Yeah. So let's talk about Speed Racer a little bit. The movie. We're talking about the 2008 Speed Racer movie right now. It came out May 9th, 2008. It had a $120 million budget.
Looks like it.
It made 93 worldwide.
Looks like it.
Only 43 in the
$93?
US. $93. 93 cents worldwide.
It's a colossal flop.
Well, yeah, it had a 40% critic response. 60% audience.
Yeah.
Audience, it has more of a cult following in recent years than when it came out. It was across the board pretty much considered a flop.
that's
when you have that many high build actors and actresses, or just,
especially
it's just
for
actors now, isn't it? Whatever.
Yeah, especially for 2008. Those people were huge.
They were
in
gigantic.
2008.
Yeah.
Like they had Sarandon in.
Yeah, and Ricci and Goodman, and so anyway, but Richard Roper of what did I say?
sounds like someone
Yeah,
who
you said like
he's-
Egert and Ropin.
Egert
He
and
sounds
Roger.
like someone who would be in the Speed Racer
Well,
universe.
Richard Roper actually gave it a good review.
Did he really?
He did. It was a very short review, but it was a good review. So it was all filmed in Germany and mostly on a green screen, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Wait, what? Hang on. You're telling me that didn't happen?
No, it did not. So it was directed and written by the Wachowski brothers, now the Wachowski siblings, Lana and Lily, as they go by now. You know them from The Matrix, Cloud Atlas. They wrote V for Vendetta.
Both of them.
They both are. They're Lana and Lily now.
They both changed. I thought one of them
So
changed.
now they're
No,
the
I'm
Wachowski
pretty sure
sisters?
they're the siblings.
They're siblings.
They're siblings. I think one of them doesn't go by a proper pronoun anymore, right? Am I wrong on that?
What, one's non-binary?
I think one's non-binary and one is transgender.
I know one is definitely transgender.
Yeah, one is for sure, but they go by the siblings and their names are Lana and Lily.
If you're binary, would you just quantify as like ones and zeros?
Yes.
Exactly. It would pretty much be Tron. So let's talk about who was in this. We have Emil Hirsch,
Nice.
who played Speed. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Speed
That is
Racer.
his name.
That's his name. His God-given Christian name is Speed,
Speed
Racer. Yeah.
He was born to be an accountant.
Yeah, there you go. Emil Hirsch was in Milk, but my favorite movie that he was in is the main guy from The Girl Next Door.
Yes!
Yeah.
My favorite movie that he's in is Into the Wild.
That's right. He was in Into the Wild.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that, but I heard that was a really good movie.
It's incredible.
He's also in the movie Alpha Dog.
That's also Cole Friend from Cole Friend.
Cole Friend.
Cole Friend, my friend. It's his favorite actor of all time.
Emil Hirsch. He did a great job in this movie because he did the Speed Racer
Perfectly.
everything.
Yeah.
Like
The mannerisms
cadence,
were
mannerisms.
excellent.
I was just waiting for a little bit more of the thing that he does.
Yeah.
Like he only did it. He only did it once. That like nice little like pose.
Yeah.
But I was waiting a little bit more for that.
Yeah.
We have Susan Sarandon, who played Mom.
Oh,
That's
what is
right.
she in?
Her name is Mom. Well, I just wrote she's Louise in Thelma and Louise, but
She's
also
in
she's also in
everything.
like 180 other things.
Yeah.
She does play the perfect mom role.
She
Is there
is the
another
perfect
actress
mom role.
that plays like the perfect mom role?
The mom from My Mom Has a Date with a Vampire.
John Travolta in Hairspray.
There you go.
gosh.
That is the perfect mom role. We have John Goodman, who played Pops. You know him from Roseanne, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Big Lebowski, Argo, Monsters, Inc., and another million things,
And a
just like
million
Susan
other
Sarandon.
things.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
He played that really well.
Yeah, he did a good job.
I don't think they could have gotten anyone better to play
No,
Pops,
no,
because
no,
he
not
did
even
Pops
close.
perfectly.
100%.
We have Christina Ricci, who played Trixie. She was on Casper that we did last year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She's also an
And
Adam.
she likes Wednesdays.
She does Adam's Family Value, as well as she was Katrina, whatever from Sleepy Hollow. What's her name? Katrina.
Oh, Katrina DeVort from Juno, the one that smells like soup.
Katrina.
What
Katrina
kind of
Van
pull is
Tussle
that?
or Tessel, whatever her name is from Sleepy Hollow.
You can also see her in Black Snake Moan.
You're right. I wrote that down. Black Snake Moan. That's right. She's the main girl in Black Snake Moan who
I'm
dates Justin Timberlake.
I'm gonna steal one from you. Do you guys know who played young Trixie?
Oh, I looked it up, but I didn't write it down.
Who is it?
The youngest daughter from Modern Family.
Oh,
Really?
yes.
Oh, man.
Before she got huge. boobs.
That's right.
That makes sense.
We have Matthew Fox, who played Racer X,
Yeah.
and all you need to know is he's from Lost. He's
That's it.
Jack. You know,
Yeah.
what else has he done?
His
that
career kind
matters
of got
as
lost
much?
after that.
Yeah, a little bit. We have Roger Allam, who played Royalton. He's in a million English things, but V for Vendetta he was in. He plays the dude who gets killed, who's like is like the really like angry dude and gets killed in the shower and everything. We have Art LaFleur, who showed up.
Yeah.
That's right, as an announcer. The babe from The Sandlot,
Yeah.
Art LaFleur. I call him the poor man's Robert De Niro. He kind of reminds me of Robert De Niro a little bit.
I can kind of see
What's
that.
funny is
Yeah.
I saw him. I was like, oh wow, it's in him. So I looked in IMDb. I'm all like, I thought he was in more big name stuff.
No, he's not. He was in War Games.
Yeah,
we
he was
covered
in
War Games last year.
Like he's in a lot of stuff, but nothing big.
No.
I get him confused with Al Bundy a lot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's the dude's name who plays Al Bundy? Ryan would know because he loves.
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
Why am I blanking on his name?
Did you guys know the guy who played Ben? Ben something. He's
Ben 10.
the guy. No, not Ben 10. The guy who told Speed that the stuff was fixed. Like when he asked me, he's like, "Oh, your race was it actually fixed?" He's like, "Well, we didn't hate each other."
Yeah.
That guy, he's Shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
That's
he's
so
a,
funny.
He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, there you go.
your mouth.
And finally, Michael Giacchino. How do you say his name? Giacchino.
Let's go with Giacchino because
Yeah,
you said it way better than anything else.
I
you
think G
said.
having a cappuccino.
Yeah,
sounds
Michael
better.
Is it like
Giacchino.
gnocchi?
Yeah, and Gnocchio. He does the music.
It's Pinocchio, but his nose
Gianocchio.
just grows one really long gnocchi.
And it expands in your stomach. Yeah. He did the
It's not the only
music.
place it expands.
Oh. He's famous for the new Star Trek movies. He did the music for that.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good composer. So let's do the trailer real quick. I don't remember what the trailer was for this movie.
I actually don't either. I just remember
So-
I was really excited when I was a kid.
Yeah, let's
Saw
see
this.
what crazy, weird, blurry color porn is
Let's do
this
it.
trailer.
Oh.
Your son seems to be interested in only one thing. All he talks about, all he seems capable of thinking about, is automobile racing.
Racing's everything. For my family, it isn't just a sport. It's way more important than that. It's like a religion.
Are you ready to become a real race car driver? Then sign that contract.
He's just trying to scare you, son.
What you do behind the wheel of a race car has nothing to do with business.
You walk away from me, you walk away from this deal, no matter how well you drive, you won't win, you won't place. I guarantee you right now, you won't even finish the race.
You think you can drive a car and change the world? It doesn't work like that.
Maybe not. But it's the only thing I know how to do, and I gotta do something.
Move it, Speed. It's getting ugly out there.
Wasn't my idea.
Oh, no?
It was his.
He's going to be very good.
No, he's going to be the best if they don't destroy him first.
All right.
Two things that I have to say now, otherwise I will forget. One, they did a great job casting Spritle because he looks like he could be John Goodman's
and
kid.
also Spritle is so Spritle in this.
Yeah.
It's
But
amazing.
A complaint I gotta have is like, so what's the guy's name from Lost?
Matthew Fox.
Matthew Fox. He looks way too much like the actor they got to play young
Scott Porter.
Racer
Yeah.
X. I'm like the whole thing is you got plastic surgery to look different. And like you kind of made him look a little bit the same.
But that's why they did it. They didn't want to go like full, completely different face because everyone would be like, "That's not."
They want you to
they
think the whole time that like, oh, is Racer X his brother?
They should have just gotten blackface.
Oh,
I think that
yeah,
always
straight blackface.
goes well.
So I don't know.
Matthew Fox played Racer X. Krager plays Racist X.
So I don't
Meet
know
me
what
for
it
another
is.
happening.
If it's the color correction or different the color editing in the trailer. The trailer itself visually looked better than the movie.
I disagree.
Well, it could be dependent on your TV. What your TV set at could be set differently than this one.
Oh, interesting. That's a good.
There's
point.
a lot of different settings on TVs. Yeah. Oh, I think I just hit a button. Hopefully that doesn't mute me. So here's the thing. I love in this movie that they give a backstory to the red socks, like why he actually wears red socks, which is really, really cool. Spritle is awesome because Spritle was very Spritle. The only thing that I remember, and Craig, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Spritle work on the car a lot in the anime?
I feel like he did.
Yeah.
And he didn't work on the car like at all.
But I think they added that more to its live action, a little more realism. But then again, this movie was really out there anyway.
How does he not get hurt in the trunk?
But that's what I always thought. Spritle would
And
always.
also, why is there a trunk in a race car?
I was thinking that too.
Hey, it's the Mach 5. Spritle used to always stow away in the trunk, and then like when Racer or Speed would get like into a jam, he would always pop out and like help with the mechanics.
Right.
But he never did that. Like I thought they were going to do that at some point in this movie, but they never did it, which was kind of a bummer.
One cool thing that probably, like, unless you were really a hardcore fan of the cartoon when you were a kid, was there's a whole episode where they're fighting this super long red destructive bus, and I love how they incorporated that into like the beginning, like where it's like that they're fighting the evil guy who has this big like truck thing.
You mean when the cast of A Clockwork Orange was driving the bus?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's an entire Speed Racer episode in the original anime where there's this unbeatable like
you're right,
huge long.
I
like,
remember that
it's
episode.
a freight
too.
train of like a vehicle.
Yeah,
and like it has so many destructive things and it's killing everyone. And like I feel like that was an homage.
Oh, of course. This whole movie was an homage to a ton of different
but
episodes.
I'm like something like that, like to the average person, like, oh, that's cool, you know, just like a henchman. It's like an evil guy's bus. And like, no, like this is like an homage to like a whole episode of Speed Racer.
I liked it. They really fleshed out the world in this movie more than they ever fleshed out the world in the anime, in my opinion. Another thing that I was going to mention that I totally forgot now, and that's okay. I guess we'll come back to it when I think of it. Yeah. That's so Raven, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. So look at this color. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it looks good.
It's such a beautiful movie. Such a beautiful movie. So, guys, we talked. We all had watched the anime, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Oh, Joe, you've never watched
I
the
never
anime?
watched the cartoon, no.
I was I watched possibly almost all of them.
Yeah. So, do you know the original name of the anime before it came to America?
Yeah, Speed Racer.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
No.
Oh,
Race Speeder.
No.
Chim Cham.
It was Mach Go Go Go.
That's
Now the reason why there's a number 5. So their last name is Minfure or Minfure or something like that.
I
which
hope
is
it's not Mein Führer.
not Minfure, but it is. It's like MINFFUR or something. Is their last name in the Japanese version, and that's why there's a giant M on the card, not for Mach. And why there's a 5 on there is because
There's 5
the
family
name.
members.
No, because so that was their last name, but his first name was Go, and the Japanese name for 5 is go. Ichi ni san shi go.
Yeah.
So
Roko ichi hachi ku ju.
Yep, exactly.
That's
Ju
racist.
ichi ju san ju shi ju go ju roko. Yeah. So
Gotta love karate.
you gotta love
Why a
karate,
lot
teaching
of
you how to
Jews?
count to 100
in Japanese.
But anyway, so it was a pun. Why go go go? Go was for his name. Go was for the 5. That's why there was the M and the 5 on there. And then America was like Mach 5, and you know what we're gonna call them? The Racer family. So I mean that's very typical English to like
Yes.
Japanese to English translation of everything.
Hey, Krager, you might know this. What came first, the Mach
Egg.
5
The egg.
for Speed Racer, or Mach 1 for Mustang?
Speed Racer.
I'm pretty sure because a lot of people have named themselves Mach or Racer X in lieu of, or in homage, paying homage to this. So I could imagine that Mustang would name a Mach 1 because they're fans of Speed Racer. I think
I don't know. I'm just guessing. That's a purely year-based thing. You can look up.
Yeah. Too bad we don't have the technology. So, what did you guys think of the movie overall?
So I have a hot take on this.
Give me a hot take.
I imagine this is exactly what I'm expecting from the Sonic the Hedgehog.
Kind of, except I'm
it's-
expecting less weird cartoonish background.
Well, no, I agree, but I think it's a movie for
Fans.
I
think so.
where people who were not fans of it, like people who wouldn't be fans or didn't play Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yeah.
I feel are going to go into this and just be indifferent about it.
So
Whereas the true fans are going to be like, oh, that was great.
The Wachowskis made a movie for fans and it fulfilled what it was meant to do.
For the fans.
But there just weren't
for
enough fans.
outside of the fans, not enough.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Krager, what did you think of this?
I'm biased because, like I said, I love the anime as a kid.
Yeah.
So
Which would agree to my point.
Exactly.
I
which is
really
why
like
you
the
love
movie. I like watching it again. It's still held up. Like if you watch it for what it is, it's great.
Yeah. I think so too. Cam, what did you think?
It was okay.
It was okay. Here's the problem. From a story writing standpoint, it was the most convoluted, jumbled up
There
mess.
was nothing.
And they never explained anything. Things popped up out of nowhere. I'm like, are we just supposed to know that this cartel is bad and this is happening here and the inspector's going after this and
Apparently,
they're supposed
yes.
to race for this? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's made for fans.
Yeah.
For me, really good visuals, which this was for the time. Really good visuals and interesting camera work and shit can only get me up to 40%.
Yeah. It was the first
It's gotta go-
high-definition camera shoot.
Yeah. It's got to go past that for me to go anything over than 40 because to
Yeah.
me, concept and story is where...
I agreed.
It fell flat on story, for sure.
yeah.
Definitely could have made more of the story.
A
100%.
lot better story. I also want to know where Trixie's parents are at.
They're dead
Why is she just chilling with the Racer family?
because they're dead.
They must be dead.
Not going to lie, for the longest time of the movie,
You
I
thought it
thought
was the
Trixie was the
sister?
sister.
Yeah, if you watch
Do you not remember in the early flashback when she's like, "Who are you? I'm Trixie. You don't know who your sister is."
You don't know.
And is Sparky related to them?
I don't know if he's related. I think
No,
he's just
he's just
contract.
I thought
He's-
Sparky was like an older brother.
No,
Well, he's got an Australian accent.
No,
cousin.
they have their own family business of making car parts and
Yeah.
cars and stuff, and so he's just a mechanic and
Which is funny
they
because
can't pay him a lot, so he probably lives with them.
it's canon that Pops was a professional wrestler and then just decided to start making race cars or
Yeah.
something. That's so weird.
We just blindly accept it.
I also want to know, they never explain why Chim Chim's there. They're just okay, we got Chim Chim now. Cool, we got another chimpanzee in a movie we're watching.
I know. We have
Another
so
monkey
many
movie.
monkey
Oh,
movies.
man. So what's the best?
Is
What is
bananas.
the best stuff that we got going on here in this movie?
Worth it.
What do you guys think? What's the best?
Probably the race scenes. I found them to be at least entertaining.
Yeah, especially because the colors are so vibrant and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, that was fun. I liked the racing scenes, but I didn't like all the weird wipes with different animals or a different character. Just
Oh, I
Oh,
love
how
the
it's
wipe.
sides.
Yeah, the
That
side
was
wipe.
so anime, though. I
Yeah.
love
They're
that.
doing that on purpose.
Yeah,
I
get
know they're
that.
doing it on purpose. It doesn't mean I have to like it.
I love.
agree.
You're a
I-
curmudgeon.
One of my
No,
favorite
I'm not. I'm
things.
just educated.
You're an educated curmudgeon.
One of my favorite things was the transitions on that, and also how they were able to focus on the foreground so much and almost wash out the background on a flat 2D plane, but the forefront was a 3D plane, so it felt like you were watching Space Jam or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane. It felt like a cartoon with real people.
Exactly.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
It was a really unique,
Very
filming
stylistic
style.
choice.
For what they set out to
Yeah.
do, I think they did a great job.
up to 40%. For me.
Yeah, again, up to
Oh
40%.
my God.
It's not going to go past that.
Which is why I also don't feel I have an issue with CGI on this because
It's all
it's
CGI.
all stylistic to
It's
almost
meant to look
that
like a cartoon.
cartoonish
Yeah.
look.
I agree. Here's the problem, though. Now, what's the worst stuff? It reminded me too much of Spy Kids.
Yes.
That threw me out of it a little bit.
Now imagine if Robert Rodriguez directed this.
Oh man, it would have been way more violent and weird.
Yeah.
You might have ruined this movie a little bit for me. with
I
that
know, this-
It
comment.
100 feels like Spy Kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Spritle Kids.
Is that
cheesy and
Spy
corny.
Bile?
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys this: you guys all like the racing scenes. I actually don't like how spinny the
It's
cars
very
were.
spinny.
The cars are like
Is
so.
that how it was
spinny.
in like
no,
the cartoons?
Not even
No, it
close.
is
No.
not. That's one. I will say that's one thing I'm kind of
I
like.
didn't like that.
You don't go faster if you spin.
No.
No.
You don't
No.
go faster if
And
you
I was
spin.
also like questioning, like, how are these tires? How is this all like actually happening when you're going sideways?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, each car is on its own individual axis. You could see. But
It's a Tokyo Drift.
I was thinking that.
But anyway,
Just
like
waiting for that song to come
also
on.
like they're saying, oh, like you don't want to be a bad racer by taking people out. Everyone's cheering for him when he crosses the finish line.
Everyone
He
takes
destroys 200
everybody
cars.
out. Yeah, everyone takes everybody out.
That's just reminiscent of NASCAR.
I guess.
It was such a NASCAR movie. It was like Dale Earnhardt made.
Watch your
was in
words.
everything.
Rest in peace.
Oh, he's super dead, dude. It's not fine. I'm not
He is
offending
pretty super
anybody.
dead.
I loved Earnhardt as a kid.
The,
Earnhardt.
the Intimidator.
Yes, I loved him.
Here's the
I
other
shed a
thing.
tear when he died.
When Krager starts
didn't.
yelling and he gets into it, he sounds like one of those guys that is just like super over enthusiastic about like his sports team. And
Yeah,
he's like
he's like,
doing
"I
the
can't!"
commentary. He's just yelling, but he has no voice anymore. He's just yelling as hard as he can to show how passionate he is.
I'm just trying to
It
talk
reminds me.
loud enough so people can hear me.
Oh, believe me, it peaked. They heard you. The thing that bummed me out the most about this movie is about halfway through, I got the worst headache. I can't imagine seeing this in the theater.
Oh, well, all the colors and
all the
lights.
colors and spinnings and blurs. I would have had such bad motion sickness. And I watched Cloverfield and stuff, and I'm fine. This was too stimulating for my eyes.
Do you think they had like an epilepsy?
Epilepsy.
Epilepsy. Thank you. Epilepsy.
I love
Are you
that.
having a seizure?
Yes. Are you having
Epilepsy. Epilepsy. Like
Episode?
warning or
Probably.
They had to have. I would imagine they had to have.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's
it
some
was
intense stuff.
insane how bad of a headache I got from it.
Yeah.
It was bad. Okay, was this a good interpretation, do you think, of the anime?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't know. Didn't see the anime.
I think it was a great interpretation. I also think the dialogue and relationship between Speed and Trixie was very on point for
Yeah.
what it's like in the anime.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Finally, do you think it wrecked the franchise?
No.
No.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it was a
Because
good
the
addition.
There wasn't the franchise is pretty much gone.
Yeah, the franchise
Yes,
is gone.
it celebrated its 50 years. At like what, 68?
Yeah.
So it was 50 years when this movie came out.
Literally, my favorite thing about it, or in regards to whether or not it wrecked the franchise, they decided not to make more of them.
Yeah.
That's only because it was a flop. Wachowski's had a second one because people were like, hey, why did the Togagashi guy, he was so happy when Speed won at the end. And they're like, well, if you tune in for the second sequel, you'll find out. But it flopped and the company was like, nope, we're not doing another one. So they wanted to do a sequel. But
I'm glad they didn't.
money
I'm glad they didn't
stopped
as well.
though. All right, so let's move on to a segment here.
Oh yes, it's time for Jordan to explain the movie quickly.
I only need one line to sum up this movie. Now this is Speed Racing. So let's talk about the plot. This is the plot breakdown. All right, so this is a very convoluted plot. So plot.
It's a very convoluted plow.
Convoluted plow.
Epilepsy.
Epilepsy over here.
And we're all struggling today.
I don't know what it is.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm not okay. I
No,
promise.
I promise.
Trust
so, we meet Speed Racer. He's getting ready for a race. Then we get flashbacks introducing that he's obsessed with racing. He looks up to his brother Rex, and his girlfriend Trixie and him met in school. We find out Rex left the family to drive for criminals and supposedly dies. Now we're back to present day where Speed wins a crazy race, and we meet the rest of his family. Yep,
Yeah.
there's a monkey involved. And we get to the point where now sponsors want him.
Yes.
Because he won this race.
Well, he could have beaten his brother's track record.
But he stopped because he didn't want to take away that legacy.
Yeah.
The aesthetic in this movie is very 70s. The house.
Yeah.
The cars.
Yeah.
Color palette.
Everything was very 70s, which I liked. We meet Royalton, who's one of the sponsors that wants to sign Speed. He's an eccentric guy who likes pancakes a little too much, in my opinion.
It was disturbing.
Yeah.
I did not like watching him eat
Didn't
pancakes.
like that. He shows the Racer family his operation to try and get Speed to sign with them.
It's more intimidating than impressing.
Yes.
I was about to say, like, you're like torturing people. That's fine.
I know they kind of were torturing people,
Yeah.
which is a little weird. We meet the cartel people who are headquartered in a semi-truck, as we talked about earlier. Racer X shows up to save the day, and he is trying to take down the cartel, I guess, is what we're finding out and everything.
I'm a piranha.
Yeah, there's also some...
Do you guys, all of you, feel like piranhas seemed to be such a problem in our youths?
Oh,
and
yes.
We've never had to encounter them.
I'm also at the point where I'm like, do piranhas actually exist?
I mean, that was so fresh because I was just on the Jungle Cruise last night, and so the piranhas. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a scary thing when we were kids.
We also have a whole film franchise based around piranhas.
Yeah.
I also want to know: do piranhas actually just like viciously just like start biting and like
in a cyclone?
Yeah. Does that like an accurate depiction of what a piranha attack would
I
be?
feel like I've seen
I don't know.
something on like
Or do they just
Discovery.
like nibble?
They take bites, but like there's so many of them so quickly. Yeah.
I mean, I could see that.
They're the compies of the ocean. So we meet Racer X, like I said. There's some blatant Motorola product placement in there
Yes.
with that walkie-talkie. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's crazy. It was very pretty product placement. We have Speed turns down Royalton's offer, and then Royalton drops a truth bomb on him that races are fixed, and it's all about stock prices.
It's all wrestling.
It's all wrestling, yeah, kind of. So Speed tries to race independently and prove that he can actually win, but he ends up losing, and Fuji and their family is disgraced. That was a really weird
Another product
scene,
placement.
but it was also a really
The
weird
water?
Fuji water. It was also a really weird
Fujifilm
that too, and Fuji the country,
and the fruit.
so-
Fuji the country?
Fiji?
Oh, Fiji. Fuji is a
mountain.
in Japan.
Yes.
My bad. Sorry.
It's also an apple.
It is an apple. I love Fuji apples. I also love Fiji peaches. That was a really weird scene to follow because they were showing you what was going on at different time periods, but also like it was like a prediction rather than what was happening. So it was a very hard scene to follow.
Yeah.
But anyway, the racers are disgraced. Racer X and the inspector shows up to get Speed's help to put the cartel away. Pop says, no, it's too dangerous, but Speed goes anyway with Trixie. This is where they add all the gadgets and buttons that we know on the Mach 5. I also loved that they, the little cartoon thing they did of showing all the buttons what they
it
do
was red.
was pretty much the opening scene.
Yeah.
That's if
Of
you
the anime.
don't know, that's the opening credits of the anime.
Yeah,
They
it
do
was
all that
so
stuff.
cool. And did you know, I always wondered what like why A, B, C, D, what it all stood for. It actually stands for things on there that like the A is supposed to be like accelerated jump or something like
aerial or something.
Yeah, something. And then my favorite thing that they had, you remember the homing pigeon?
Yeah.
The homing pigeon was so weird. I'm like, why do you have a pigeon?
They're like, it's so dumb. We're not even going to use it. We're just going to say it's here. We're not even going to write it into the script. They wrote everything else into the script.
Except the homing
They're
pigeon.
they're like, screw that pigeon.
Well, they put things in there that he didn't even use.
No,
Yeah.
he used all of them.
He didn't
What
use the
about-
pigeon.
He didn't use.
No, but the homing pigeon they didn't write into this incantation.
What about
of
the
it.
one where it was like it puts up like a little drone that takes like video?
Yeah.
of,
Pigeon.
like,
Oh, that is
entire
the homing
time.
pigeon.
Yeah, that's the homing
Oh,
pigeon.
did they mention the homing pigeon?
Yeah.
Yes, and I missed it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. They meant. I'm
But
saying
we never used
no,
it.
I'm saying
No.
like they acknowledged it, but they were like, it's so useless. We're not even going to write it into
I
like
see.
the.
It's because he
Yeah.
had Trixie up there doing it for him.
Trixie's his pigeon,
Yeah, Trixie is his pigeon.
like the
Trixie
cuckoo
could be my
pigeon.
Like
Cuckoo
cuckoo
pigeon.
pigeon. So during this dangerous race, one guy has has truck nuts on steroids.
Yeah, he does.
Like these giant mace balls coming off of him, and then
I do have a question about the racing.
Yeah.
which you guys can answer. The tracks, were they all windy and things like that in regards to like the anime? Did it look like
usually-
it came out of Hot Wheels?
no, they usually went through like mountains and
Yeah.
stuff like
Canyons
that.
and
All the
things
other
like that, but the
races-
tracks weren't like it
No.
came out of
No.
Hot Wheels with like its loops
No.
and stuff.
They were normal tracks.
okay.
Yeah.
That was just a Wachowski
Wachowski
persons.
brothers. Wachowski siblings. I apologize.
He, she, or otherwise.
Yeah, the thing is, I say Wachowski brothers so much because for the first 10 years I knew of their existence, that's all I referred to them as. So it's like hard to get that out of my head sometimes when you're just like flowing with it. But here's the thing: is did you ever watch the Hot Wheels animated TV show in the 90s?
Didn't even know there was one.
That sounds so familiar.
Okay,
is it like Cars? Do the Hot Wheels can they talk?
No, the Hot Wheels did not talk. No, but it was very much like Hot Wheels was like a 90s version of Speed Racer.
Oh, I just remembered that.
Yeah, and remember they went through Venice for one race and stuff like that, and they turned into boats and
Did
stuff.
you watch the
crazy.
NASCAR Racers cartoon?
I never watched that one.
I
no.
was hardcore into that one.
So anyway, this race happens. One of the guys in this race uses a beehive as a weapon, which
another guy uses a cobra as a
That's right.
weapon.
He launched a cobra onto someone. So ridiculous. Anyway, so they win the first leg of the race, and we find out that Royalton is working with the cartel. So now some ninjas.
Royalton is the cartel.
Pretty much. So now the ninjas are trying to kill Speed Racer, Racer X, and Tokyo Drift Guy.
This random ninjas.
But it was funny, too, because now we have a bunch of random kung fu moments that start showing up. I'm like, I actually really liked kung fu moments. Yeah. Especially since it proved that ninjas wear boxers. They're not brief guys.
They also did get the best line in the movie.
Yeah, it's a ninja, more like nanja.
Oh, God.
So good. That I literally died laughing during that scene. So we end the second leg of the race where Rex crashed and Speed makes it through.
Right.
And so Speed, Racer X, and Tokyo Drift Guy all make it to the end, and we think, cool, they won. Now Tokyo Drift Guy, I don't know his name. Did anyone catch his name in the movie?
Yeah, it's like Toshijo.
No, their last name was Togasha. But I don't know what his first name was supposed to be.
Tokyo Drift Guy.
Tokyo Drift Guy. He ends up kind of screwing them over and uses the win for his family to raise stock prices.
Sorry, just forget about it.
It was his dad. It was his dad who forced him to do it. It wasn't really his doing, but his dad who forced him to do it. So when this happens, Speed has an angry drive moment, very much similar to the angry dance moment in Footloose.
Yeah, 100%.
But with a car. And then Racer X shows him that he isn't Rex.
And
He's
they crash each other's cars for fun.
And then he goes, "I'm not your brother. Here's my face."
Mm-hmm.
And it's not his brother. And I actually wish they would have stuck with that, because the whole time Madison was asking me, my wife, if you don't know, listening, it was like, "Oh, is that supposed to be his brother?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's always the thing in the anime. It's like they always alluded to it being his brother, but they never really told you until the very end, like Volume 2, the last few episodes. They said it was his brother, but they always kind of were like, not really, but he is, but not really." And I was like, that would have been a cool twist if they alluded to this whole time like that, and they were just like, "Nope, not your brother. Your brother's dead."
Yeah,
I thought that would have been a cool, I think it would have been nice to change it so it's a little different, so it's not like the same story rehashed again.
Okay,
but we find out at the very, very end that it is his brother who did facial reconstruction surgery.
Right.
So Speed gets invited to the Grand Prix.
His brother has a Wakandan warrior as his girl.
I know, that was super weird. Who just popped up out of nowhere? Was it the same girl who shot the gun? No, it was a different girl.
A princess of
Cortisola or whatever that place is. Courtesan. Yeah, it was some fictional place. I don't know.
Courtesan is from Star Wars.
Cortisol is what's in my adrenal glands.
Are you thinking of
Coruscant? My bad.
Oh, Coruscant.
Croissant. My bad.
Croissant. Buttery croissant.
It is a whole planet made of stress hormones.
Oh, yes.
Can we go to a planet made of croissant?
Yeah, I would love that.
It's called France.
Oh, can we go to a whole planet made of squid?
Mon Calamari.
Small tangent. When we did Soaring Over the World, Morgan's cousin made a great point. She's like, France should just smell like cigarettes.
What did it smell like? Baguettes?
Something like that.
Something like that. Is it Soaring Over the World now?
Yeah.
But they brought back Patrick Warburton.
Oh, good. If Patrick Warburton was gone, I would not go on that
they brought him
ride.
back.
Wait, he was gone for a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, we're devolving into California Adventure talk now.
Sorry. I went there yesterday.
Okay, so going back, Speed gets invited to the Grand Prix, so he's going to show everyone that he can win and stop the corporations from fixing everything.
Yeah.
We have a making car montage to make the Mach 6.
Everybody loves a montage.
Yeah, and also Pop looks like Mario in this. Straight up Mario.
Yeah, with those blue overalls.
Yahoo! I know, it was so bad. So here we have the final race. This movie was really long, by the way. A little too long in my opinion.
Vito lies. I clicked. I'm like, how long is this going to be? It said an hour and 35 minutes. I'm like, that's a respectable
Did you just
time.
say Fido?
Yeah.
We watched it on Voodoo. It's called Voodoo.
Or Fido.
Fido. VUDU.
I tried to say voodoo, but it's like Voodoo.
Voodoo.
But
So
it said 130. Oh wait, 130.
I also liked at the very end. It was 130 minutes because that's 2 hours and 10 minutes, which is how long the movie is. I like how at the end it kept telling me like, oh, someone else is using a device. Someone else is using a device. And Krager's cracking himself up that he doesn't know how to do math.
I'm not healthy.
He's like,
yeah.
hour and 30 minutes. That's like an hour and a half.
Perfect. 130 minutes. 130 means the same in all things. But I like how Cam kept trying to kick me out of it. I'm like, I only have 10 minutes left, man.
Yeah, I did it
only
twice.
have 10 minutes left.
I had thought that like maybe someone paused it and was like, I'm done for the night.
Joe, did you watch it this morning?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I was about to text you last night like, Joe, I have dibs in the morning. But luckily I woke up earlier than you.
So anyway, Speed has the final race. Speed proves that Royalton cheats. He wins the race and makes racing great again. We learn at the very end that Racer X is his brother, and that Rex is just trying to protect the family for some reason.
Also,
I don't know.
we got the ever so classic 2 small people make a big person in a trench coat.
Oh yeah, that was great. Except I love too that they put the chimp at the top instead of the human. Like why? And did you notice that when we get introduced to Spritle and Chim Chim, that Spritle is wearing
monkey pajamas,
but
Sprite's wearing person pajamas.
Yeah, he's wearing person pajamas.
Yeah, I loved it.
What's that company that all the girls were into in the early 2000s that had the monkey on it?
What's the sock monkey one, girls? Paul Frank.
Paul Frank. Yep, he was wearing Paul Frank pajamas.
I was going to say underoos.
Wasn't he Anne's uncle?
Oh my god.
I knew it wasn't what I was gonna say. I kept on saying Lisa Frank in my head, and I knew that was the rainbow good one, not the sock monkey thing.
All right, so guys, you want to talk about some fun facts?
Yeah.
Sure.
What is facts? Baby, they're fun. They're fun. Oh yeah. What is facts? Baby, they're fun. They're fun. Oh yeah. Okay, so I don't transition out of that very well, but you know.
Okay, so
fun fact time. The 2 actors who voiced Speed Racer and Trixie were announcers in this movie.
Oh, that's cool.
What? Nice.
Yeah, I think they were at the beginning race, if my brain is working. This is the first time that the Wachowskis have filmed a movie in high-definition film. Wow. With this format, they could utilize a layering approach that gave equal clarity to the foreground and background of each scene in the film, creating the appearance of real-life anime. And that's what I liked about it. I'm like, why don't more films do this?
Yeah,
it's very
it
unique.
100% felt like a live action.
It was so cool. All the driving scenes were filmed with the actors sitting in a gimbal, a race car cockpit with a computer-programmed hydraulic system.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Science.
While the race cars are totally fictional, most of the pedestrian cars are actually based on real-life futuristic concept cars. So everything you saw in the background.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool.
It's cool. Keanu Reeves turned down the role of Racer X.
Oh no! Why? That makes me so sad.
How awesome would that have been?
That would have been great.
That would have been so good. Oh, I know how to race. I guess the Wachowskis really like to keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that were in this movie were in Cloud Atlas too.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I've never seen Cloud Atlas.
It's so long and
it's
weird.
very okay.
Yeah, it's so weird. One of the original devices on Speed Racer's car, was the homing pigeon. Yeah, I like that. J.J. Abrams wrote a draft of this screenplay.
Really?
Yeah. Super weird. There was a lot more lens flare in his version.
I was about to ask, is he the lens flare guy?
Yeah. This is the last movie where the Wachowski siblings are credited as the Wachowski brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't make another movie for like 4 years after this,
that's
though.
fair.
The guy who started the goal in soccer announcing is one of the announcers in the Grand Prix.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Scott Porter and Matthew Fox, who both played Rex Racer at different ages in this movie, have the same birthday of July 14th.
That is
crazy.
Weird.
Not as much a fun fact as a really weird probable thing.
Weird
like
coincidence.
statistic. Yeah. It was in various stages of the production since 1992.
It took
movie.
that long.
Yeah, and at one point,
basically as long as I was alive.
Yeah, and at one point, Vince Vaughn was spearheading the project. Vince Vaughn.
I love Vince Vaughn.
But like, who would have thought this guy was gonna do this movie?
Me.
Weird.
Yeah, it's so weird. And finally, there's an 80s metal band called Racer X.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is badass.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's all I have for this episode about Speed Racer. I tried to look up like fan theories or conspiracy theories or something.
How did you come up with doing this for the podcast?
Okay, so I'll let you know how I came up with doing this.
I feel like you've been wanting to do this one for a while.
Well, no, I've never seen this movie. I'm a huge fan of the anime as well. Like I watched
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I watched it recently. So my mom's cousin was really into Speed Racer when I was a kid, and he got me into Speed Racer. And then I rewatched the anime maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I downloaded all of them and I rewatched all of them, and it was a good time. And so I was recently in Chicago this past week, which is why we took a week off. And my coworker, Bobby, he's a new coworker of ours. We were talking about movies. He's into filmmaking and stuff as well. And he goes, you know what movie was really cool? Because we started talking about anime. He goes, Speed Racer. It's criminally underrated because it's like a live-action anime. It's so crazy. So
that's pretty accurate.
He got me really excited about it. And he started showing me some scenes and stuff. And I was like, oh, dude, this would be good. And I've been racking my brain what to do for the first week of November because we don't have Disney Plus till the second week.
I was so mad I didn't have Disney Plus while I was sick.
Yeah, that would have been, you would have been sick a week later would have been great. So I told him, I'm like, oh, dude, I should do Speed Racer for the podcast. He's like, if you do Speed Racer, I'll definitely listen because I'm curious what you guys think about it. So
shout out Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
Because I also have been wanting to watch this movie for a while. And after I saw like some of the scenes when we were working, I was like, oh, this movie looks so crazy.
It's nuts.
I didn't realize. I probably should have watched it on a phone so I didn't get a headache. But yeah, that's how we came up with this. But next week, we're starting Disney Channel Original Movie Month. Woo! I'm not sure which one we're going to do yet. I'm going to throw a poll out there for everyone. So we're going to start narrowing it down, and then we're going to pick a few of our own. And that's how we're gonna do it.
Do we have suggestions of what we should throw in that poll?
Look at the.
I already got 16. You want to hear the 16 I got for the poll? I got the best ones. I had to knock out 2 or 3 to make it 16 for the poll. But we have Under Wraps,
nice.
Brink,
Bear,
Xenon Girl of the 21st Century,
incredible,
Can of Worms,
fine,
Smart House,
great,
Don't Look Under the Bed,
great,
Alley Cat Strike,
oh amazing,
Up Up and Away,
oh yeah,
Quince,
oh I forgot about Quince,
wow,
The Other Me, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Yeah, good.
The Phantom of the Megaplex.
Perfect.
Excellent. Yeah. Motocrossed.
Amazing.
Yes.
The Luck of the Irish.
I was getting really. I was like, if you don't have that on there, I'm gonna throw hands.
The Even Stevens movie.
Yes.
And then finally Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
I
forgot about that.
I got rid of Miracle in Lane 2 because that's too good feeling, and The Color of Friendship because that's too good feeling. We want the fun, dumb ones.
Yeah.
No Life Size with Tyra Banks.
Life Size wasn't a Disney Channel original movie.
No,
it wasn't.
No, it just looks and feels identical to one.
It was a movie that was supposed to be theatrically released that at last second got put to only home video release.
Oh,
shine
is that
bright,
the same
shine
with,
far, don't be shy, be a star. Where you live, where you are, be a star.
Is that also the same with the trash picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon with Tony Danza?
That was a Disney. So there's a bracket. Disney Channel original movies didn't happen until like 1992 or 3.
Okay.
Before that, they were called Disney. I forget, but it wasn't Disney Channel original movies. It was called Disney something movies. And that was a part of those, that era. Because they started making them in like 84 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's where like Paper Brigades is in that.
Yeah,
and everything.
I love the Paper Brigade.
Yeah. So like that's not technically a Disney Channel original movie, which is why it's not on there. Disney Channel original movies only span like 10 years. Will those movies be on
Disney Plus though?
Every single one will be.
Nice.
Sick. I'm going to watch the Paper Brigade.
You mean you didn't go through all 600 Twitter posts that Disney
I saw
did?
like the gist of it. It was
right
like,
now.
Here, we're going to go through. The next 5 hours will be me just reading the different movies.
I feel like come like February, I'm
like
coming in February.
I'll be back watching The Office.
You'll be watching The Office again? Yeah. All right, so that's that.
I feel like cum.
So we will see you guys next week. Check out all our stuff. Hey, Kate.
Peanut Gallery.
Did you have something you wanted to mention about this movie? You said you really enjoyed it. Anything more you want to mention?
I go
specifically?
fast.
Here, speaking to the microphone. You like the monkey in it?
Yeah, I like the monkey in it.
The monkey? Did you like the monkey's cookies?
Yes.
Okay. So tune in next week for something that's not
Jordan
Speed
did
Racer
too
related.
because he's a scat man.
I am the scat man.
Hopefully a movie that doesn't involve a monkey.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wasn't there a Disney Channel original movie?
There were
with
at
a monkey?
least 6, dude. Like, it was the time.
Yeah. All right. So check out all the show notes for the ways you can support us or where you can follow us. Come back next week for Disney Channel original movies. Come on Monday, like Krager does in February. Come back on Monday and listen to a Round Table. I think
will promise you I'll try to be back for the next Around Table.
hopefully with a full voice.
I miss you guys.
This was only 40 minutes and you could barely handle it. An hour and 10 for a Round Table.
Let's go.
There's going to be some weird shakeups on the podcast coming up. We
right.
have some new show ideas.
Am I getting
Doing
fired?
lots of dancing.
You're not fired.
Okay, good.
Also,
And for those of you wondering, I was not fired. I just had to do.
Yeah.
Dang it, sorry.
Oh,
My
man,
bad.
right at the end. But yeah, I'm going to be getting rid of some segments. I'm going to be reformatting some things. We're going to be maybe adding a new show, taking a show away possibly and putting it into another show.
Nice.
We're going to see because we have enough content we want to do that almost every day there's going to be a release in the week, and I don't want it to be that overwhelming and intensive,
it's a
especially if it's
lot.
like an hour for every episode. It's not like Ryan Buds at Trivia Buds where it's like 10 minutes an episode and it's daily.
Is it even really a podcast?
I mean, I don't know. You decide. Magic.
I worked for him.
That's true.
I'm kidding. I love you, Ryan. Happy.
yes.
Oh, him and Morgan have the same birthday.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, he just had a birthday, and
birthday, Ryan
his
and
daughter
Morgan.
just had a birthday too.
Yeah.
It's very close.
His whole family.
His whole family, yeah, pretty much.
He turned what, like 56?
Yeah,
57?
Ryan's like 78.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Yeah. If you want to see Ryan Buds, go check out the episode of Parks and Rec where Leslie and Ben have their gala, and he's standing right behind Ron.
Yeah.
I watched it today. Oh, yeah, he's standing right there, like right there behind Nick Offerman. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then when Andy's band starts playing, you see him going.
Yes. So
Oh, that is so bad.
But anyway, come back next week, and we're outie out. Mock, go.
All right. Bye, guys. Love you.
I like and I love you all.
I appreciate everyone.
Wreck My Podcast. Wreck My Podcast.
What was
I
that?
thought we were family. You're gonna have to raise my levels up hardcore.
Oh, actually, it's pretty loud.
That's
for
pretty
you.
good right there.
I've never had the water.
Go Speed
I've given your wife lots of love on her baking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, juicy. Yeah.
Yeah, buns and thighs.
Oh yeah, Joe. So update. I got sick. And
Chelsea asked for a
I'm sick.
podcast if you can
I
do,
have no voice.
which features you,
I am.
Cam, Chelsea, Morgan, and Kate as the primary guests, and you
Uh-huh.
watch Spice World.
Oh, I'm down to watch
Wait,
Spice
what
World.
happened?
I like
Thank you
Spice
for
World.
including me.
What happened?
We were saying a podcast that is
And then
Jordan,
I'm just the host.
Cam, Chelsea, Morgan, and Kate.
I'll just
And the
I'll
top
just be
and the
like,
topic is the movie
welcome
Spice
to Wreck
World.
My
She'd
podcast
probably
where
be
the girls
down.
are taking over and I'm out.
You got to be there to
I
round
guess
them
I gotta
up.
be there to rally.
Second favorite part of that entire movie is when Posh is looking through her closet and doesn't know which Gucci dress to wear.
Oh my God, me too.
Yeah, we got to get back on the
I
Star
know.
Wars train because
Next
it's
Sunday,
we're running
next
out of
Sunday
time.
and the Sunday after. So like the two
might
Sundays
have to
before
do-
Do we have
Thanksgiving,
to
we're
buy
gonna do
tickets
boom boom.
early for Star
Yes.
Wars?
I'm not because I'm probably gonna see it at like 8 a.m. on like a Friday or
like that.
something.
My
so
student
that it's
bought
an empty,
me a ticket for my
an
birthday.
empty. Should we do this episode?
Let's
No.
do it.
No, no. All right.
We're just gonna bullshit the whole time.
I like it. All right. Well, whoa, what is going on over there?
I'm watching like a football game.
Oh, nice.